Now, we've been talking about Black Myth Wukong on and off on this channel and how things are just extremely weird regarding this particular video game, how the entire mainstream media has decided to collectively attack this one singular developer because of misogyny reasons or whatever the case may be. These gaming journalists all seem to strategize and get together and attack the same target for their DEI overlords to then sweep in and say, well, we can make these problems go away so long as you give us the right amount of money, we can make it happen. Well, apparently things have gotten even weirder, as now another gaming journalist with a nose ring, by the way, so shout out to Smash JT and the Nose Ring Mafia. Apparently, they're at it again.
I'm really, really mad! And now it's time to pay!
So we have an article here from SmashJT.com that says they really want you to hate Black Myth Wukong, which is weird. Misinformation and misinterpretation. The unfair treatment of Black Myth Wukong. So let's get into this article from SmashJT.com. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Would you look at that? Another nose ring. We have yet another example of how the Nose Ring Mafia organized crime syndicate has come together to continue slandering Black Myth Wukong. Game journalism credibility somehow keeps reaching new lows. The game, developed by Game Science, has been caught in a whirlwind of controversy due to a series of misinterpreted statements and the subsequent media fallout, beginning with IGN's Rebecca Valentine, and spread like a virus throughout the clique of activists posing as journos. Well, that's because what happened was Rebecca Valentine, probably in their own private Discord server that all of these game journalists have, that we know that they have, she probably posted that she's going to be working on this particular piece and needs the support of all the other activists that are in that Discord. Let it be known, man, these gaming journalists absolutely 100% attack the same target every single time. If you look at the time of which their articles get released, they are usually within just an hour or even less of each other. Normally within an hour, but that's usually how it goes down. They like to release the same exact thing because they all prep and then they try to do a media shitstorm. This is a strategy that is showcased by Kim Belair and Sweet Baby Inc., who said that you need to terrify everybody who works in the marketing departments of these AAA gaming studios that do not want to hire DEI consultants. This is why I think that Hoyoverse is absolutely being targeted right now by DEI Mafia, because they are trying to essentially extort money out of Genshin Impact. They are the only ones who are complaining about this nonsense, and that petition is specifically calling for Hoyo to actually hire DEI consultants. That is the first demand on that petition. It is highly suspicious to me, but yet here we are again. The original investigative hit piece by IGN reporters Rebecca Valentine and Ki-Hon Chan dives deep into these issues, and I use that term extremely loosely, trying to paint a picture of a company struggling with its internal culture, even as it gains international acclaim. More likely, there is some funny business going on behind the scenes in attacking the developer for not utilizing Sweet Baby Inc. for DEI consultations, or better stated, as you know, extortion. So again, me and Smash JT seem to be on the same page regarding this entire nonsense of essentially extortion by these DEI consultancy firms. It seems like this is what they're doing with every AAA studio that will not bend the knee and hire them. Like, you don't have to hire specifically Sweet Baby Inc., but these DEI consultancy firms all work under the same umbrella usually half the time. They all are funded from the same original source. If you really start to find, if you start to look for the money, you're going to find that a lot of it comes from government money in Canada. So you start wondering, gee, this is getting very interesting here. Is this like some sort of a cabal going on? Like, what's happening here? So we have another journalist. Let's talk about Tom Reagan. Now, Tom Reagan of The Guardian, and of course it's The Guardian, so should that shock anybody? Recently focused on these alleged issues during an interview that was supposed to center on the game itself. It's funny how every time they write about the game, they can't help but mention the bad press first. Right? They usually say, yeah, Black Myth Wukong, a game that looks pretty good, but unfortunately is being made by, misogynist, sexist developers, which, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They go into this deep end, and then after 4 or 5 paragraphs, then they're subtly talking about the game. It's kind of odd. It makes you think as if they're trying to extort them for something. This approach is akin to falsely accusing someone of a misdeed and then persistently questioning them about it in unrelated context, effectively shadowing any other discourse. It's a tactic that not only shifts focus from the actual game, but also unfairly taints the developer's reputation. It says Black Myth Wukong is a highly anticipated game set to release next month alongside major titles like Ubisoft Star Wars Outlaws. The persistent focus on unfounded allegations against Wukong rather than the game's innovative gameplay and rich narrative, while silence or praise about Star Wars, is not just a disservice to the developers, but also to the gaming community eagerly awaiting its release. What are you talking about? It's not on their burden to prove that they didn't do what you said they did. You're the one trying to say they did something, and your proof is a mistranslated conversation. That is not exactly good proof. If you think they did something, if you think they are misogynist, sexist, or whatever, if you think that they are, just think of whatever fucking excuse you want. If you think that, it is the burden of you to prove that allegation. It is not the burden of them to prove they didn't do something that they're not accusing themselves of doing. They're just existing at this point. They're trying to make a video game, and you're the one trying to talk about racism, sexism, misogyny when you're basing it off of a fucking paragraph that has been proven to be mistranslated through and through and misinterpreted. So again, why are we doing this? There's only one reason it seems like they would want to do this, and that's because there is some benefit to them doing this. But let's continue. It says, due to pushing the ongoing debunked false narrative, which I spoke about just now before, Tom Reagan has been added to the Kotaku Detective. You've made the list, which tracks journalists who persistently push misleading or biased narratives within the gaming industry. This move highlights the broader issue of accountability and ethical journalism in gaming media, where sensationalism often overshadows substantial and fair reporting. Well, let it be known, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, gaming journalism has completely and utterly been destroyed by activists. Nobody looks at a gaming journalist anymore and actually thinks that's a serious job. Nobody looks at them and says, yep, that's where I'm going to get all my information from. They know that's the case because that's why they hate YouTubers so much. They can't stand us. They cannot stand that we're even more relevant than they are. It is ridiculous, man, and it makes them insane. It drives them crazy. They're used to being a good old 9-to-5 employee. They're used to being able to clock in and clock out. They're used to be able to get paid to do whatever the fuck lie that they want to do, and at the end of the day, man, they don't get held accountable. They are the ones who are activists. They are running the entire company, and they want their politics known to everybody. At the end of the day, man, we just want to talk about video games. We just want to talk about the culture at large, and unfortunately, right now, there is a lot of negativity surrounding gaming culture because of people like this. But let it be known, man, there is good games out there, people. Go follow AA, go follow Indie. Right now, AAA is where it's hurting, but in terms of AA and Indie, there's a lot of good games out there that you guys should be exploring, and I highly recommend them. I've talked about them on streams. We have explained many different video games that we find enjoyable. It is not just a negative conversation, but in terms of AAA, it damn sure is. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.